This episode of WDW Today is being sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel, the official travel agency of WDW Today. And if you're planning a trip to Walt Disney World in the near future and want to have a little help with it, want to make it a little bit easier on yourself, perhaps you're just sick of doing all the footwork. Why should you? I know you can do it, but why should you? Why not let someone else, one of the talented agents at MEI and Mouse Fan Travel, do the hard work for you? Visit them online at www.mousefantravel.com.
This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Wednesday, December 17th, 2008, and this is episode 502 of WDW Today. I'm Matt Hochberg of StudioCentral.com. Joining me on today's show is Mike Newell of Mouse World Radio. Hey, buddy.
It's a little empty in here tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, the studio's a little empty. I think everyone's trying to take a little extra few days off after Mouse Fest here, but I appreciate you showing up for work, Mike.
I'm always on time.
There you go. And it's Wednesday, and we're answering your listener questions. And we'll start out with a question from Kristen from New York, who writes, Dear Matt, Len, Mike, and Annette, I just want to say that you were all on spot on episode 426, Kid-Friendly Attractions. I know this was a while ago, but I had forgotten all about it until I started planning my upcoming trip. I was surprised that the four guys and Annette could trump a Disney veteran like myself. I have two children, ages 4 and 5, and after riding Dinosaur, which they loved, we decided to head towards the Tree of Life and see It's Tough to Be a Bug. Big mistake. My children cried from the moment it started. Let's just say my husband and I couldn't move fast enough to get out. I was stunned. My children laughed and playfully screamed throughout Dinosaur, which I felt was too scary for them, but fell apart over some bugs in a 3D movie. If only this episode was recorded before my vacation and not while I was on my vacation. No hard feelings, though. Just wanted to give you guys your props for a great show. Not being a, quote, kid-based podcast, you were all spot on with everything you advise. Kudos to you all. P.S. Love Snack, Sip, and Sick episode. Will there ever be another?
Well, it's funny you asked.
Yes, Newell, what do you have to say?
I think Friday's episode is going to be part 2 of that.
Really?
Yeah, speaking of that, getting off. I totally agree with her on the Bug's Life. That's one of the things that I hate about that attraction. And I love that attraction, but you cannot enjoy yourself in there with all the screaming that goes on.
Yeah, just the that and with everything like poking you and stuff. I know it's just air and what have you.
It's really scary. I know adults that scream and carry on when because they're afraid of the bugs and whatnot. It's it's dark. It's very loud. It's things are spraying on you and things are poking your butt. It's not really a pleasant thing, is it?
Now, it never is nice when something pokes you in the butt. But absolutely.
Nah.
Next email's from Gary from Maryland, who writes, Hey, Matt, Mike, and Len. Before I ask a question, I have to say this. My wife and I just got back from Walt Disney World. We stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge and had a wonderful time. We were celebrating our 35th wedding anniversary. When I made my reservations in ADRs, I was sure that they knew it was the special occasion. When we checked in, we got the buttons. Those buttons, the happy anniversary buttons, are worth their weight in gold. We stayed for 7 days and 6 nights, and we didn't go anywhere without our buttons on. Every day felt like such a special day. Cast members wishing us happy anniversary all day long. Special touches at our dinners. When we went to Mexico at Epcot and decided to ride the boat ride, the cast member at the boarding spot wished us happy anniversary and then told us that we were going to ride in a boat all to ourselves.
Cool.
When we went to see the American Adventure and hear the Voices of Liberty, we were taken out of the lobby for a phone call from Mickey. We're given a beautiful certificate commemorating our visit, and we're taken in the elevator to the second floor so that we could see and hear the performance from the balcony. The singers announced us and dedicated their first song to us, which was When You Wish Upon a Star, my favorite. And we were recognized again when we went in the auditorium. I can't tell you all the wonderful things that happened to us that week, all because we were wearing our buttons. It was a terrific week. Well, that's something. A lot of times we get questions, Mike, about how can I make my trip special? We're celebrating something special, but I want to make it extra special. And it doesn't sound like a lot to do, but just putting on those buttons, whether it be your anniversary, your birthday, just got married, make your own buttons up. The cast members are trained to look for it, and it really stands out in terms of getting yourself recognized and can make for opportunities like Gary had over here. You may go through the whole week and not much happens, but you never know. But having the buttons on will definitely put you in the right spot for them.
Absolutely. Me and Mike walked around with Annette on her birthday, and she had the birthday pin. And people were stopping her, not only just cast members, but people were stopping her that we didn't know, wishing her happy birthday. And she got the call from Goofy, I think, to wish her happy birthday. And it's really cool. They gave her a piece of cake at and like you said, it's not to say that you're going to get anything, and don't go expecting you're going to get anything. but it's just nice to be recognized as for your special occasion, whether it's your birthday or anniversary. It's just nice to be, congratulated.
Absolutely. Gary has a question. He says, we went to see Fantasmic. It's one of our favorite shows. What happened to the dragon? Maleficent used to rise up and change into a dragon. Not this time. Was this just a one-time problem, or had they done away with the effect altogether? I always thought it was the highlight of the show. Well, Gary, I think this is a one-time thing. A lot of times, well, not a lot of times, but from time to time, the dragon does not work for whatever. It's a very complicated piece of machinery. The show should have the dragon in. Let's put it that way. I know a favorite story that my wife has is she was seeing it with her parents, and Maleficent, went to go turn into the dragon. Dragon comes out of the mountain. Really cool effect. I totally agree. It's very nice. And the dragon sort of went back into the mountain, but couldn't get back into the mountain. I guess it got stuck or something happened. So what happened was in the next scene, they have the next scene going on, and you just kind of see the dragon just kind of chilling in the background over there, which must have made for an interesting scene. But they happen, unfortunately, from time to time.
Yeah.
And I guess what happened, Gary, was before the show, they probably ran into a technical problem because throughout the afternoon, they're usually running drills and tests on everything, and probably determined there was a problem they couldn't get fixed before the show time, so they just decided to go without it. It happens from time to time. There are times where a particular effect won't work or whatever, but those are few and far between, and they just happen. But it's unfortunate. But I bet you, Gary, the next time you go down there, you'll be able to see the Maleficent in all her glory.
Right. We just saw it just past Saturday, and it was operating.
Yeah. The funny thing is, Mike, when I was over there this past Saturday at the Fantasmic dessert party we had at Mousefest, I was commenting to my wife that when the dragon came out, rather than say it was Maleficent, I mentioned and jokingly said that it's the dragon from Enchanted, and she responded, "Don't joke about that, because I'm sure there are plenty of people who actually do think that is the dragon from Enchanted."
It's kind of similar, yeah.
Yeah, the dragon Enchanted is based on Maleficent. That's the the inside joke there, but there are probably people who don't know that, and they're like, "Oh, look, it's the."
I bet you the younger generation would pick that up more because they've just seen Enchanted.
Yeah, it would just make Mike Scopa turn over in his.
Oh yeah.
Well, whatever, he's not quite a grave yet, but wherever he is. Next email is from Cindy, who writes, I'm relatively new to your podcast and absolutely love it. I do not know if you have covered this topic before, but I'll be traveling to the world for 10 nights in late January 2009, and I'm curious about the fitness center facilities. Sounds strange even to me to be worried about working out while walking miles daily at the parks, but since technically the only time my heart rate is at an aerobic level is during the morning sprint to the first Fast Pass and attractions, I will want to get in an official workout while I'm there. I believe the only moderate level resort at the fitness center is Coronado Springs, and of course, the deluxe resorts all have one as well. Is the one facility better than the others? Is it worth the extra money to stay at the deluxe resort versus Coronado? I'll be staying on property, but do not plan on renting a car. I'm a pass holder, and I'm hopeful that there will be a discount on either of these types of resorts based on the timing of my vacation. Now, Mike, your wife loves to go work out at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, every day. Every morning she's out.
Yeah. Is there a gym that she prefers?
Well, did the letter say where she was staying?
No, I think she's keeping her options open.
She doesn't have a car. It's a little bit of a hike to get to, by bus just for a gym. But I know people that do it. My wife loves the gym at Saratoga Springs. Just absolutely loves it. When we stayed at Coronado one time, they charged $15 a day, even though we were staying there just to use that gym. So that was a real big turnoff. And obviously, DVC members get to use the gyms for free. And this past trip, we stayed at the Beach Club, and their gym was open 24 hours. So I know about that.
Yeah, that's a nice perk. So I guess if Cindy's maybe interested in a gym that she can access any time of the day, like maybe she's one of those people who wants to go stay all day at the park and then wrap up their day with a workout before sleep. I don't know.
Well,
maybe.
Let me tell you, Mary says that the gyms are always crowded, so it's not just one or two people that are going to be there. A lot of people take advantage of that.
Absolutely, but I'll put my vote in actually for the gym at Saratoga. I'm going to assume, Cindy, that you're going to be working out at semi-normal times, and the gym is beautiful over there. I have taken the tour over there, Mike. And the gym is very, very, very nice.
Yeah, it's real. I've actually toured it myself, and it's amazing. It's a really, really nice gym. And when we stay at Old Key West, Mary jumps in the car and drives over to Saratoga just to use that gym because it's so much nicer, so much better.
Oh, absolutely. I would definitely go for that city.
Yeah.
And the other good thing about Saratoga is that it tends to fly under the radar in terms of prices. Both Saratoga and Old Key West tend to have some really good prices, even though they're basically, I mean, not. I don't know if you call them quite a deluxe resort, but they're certainly right up there. They're very nice, especially Saratoga.
Yeah, a studio unit will run you, a high, moderate price, I think.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Cindy also adds, also, it'll be my birthday, Walt Disney. How do I get one of those buttons indicating,
Here we go.
as such, it'll be, and is it worth wearing it? Well, it's
yeah.
What's that?
Absolutely worth it. Annette got hers at City Hall at the Magic Kingdom. I guess if you go to any guest relations in the other parks, but Annette got hers at City Hall.
Yeah, you can get them at any of the guest relations locations, and it's funny because it's a good thing you brought that up, Cindy. Because in the other email we neglected to mention where you can get them if you are interested. You can get them at any of the guest relations or City Hall. That's what they call it at the Magic Kingdom. You can also get it at the resorts when you're checking in.
Okay.
They have them over there. I know that we've checked in a couple times and asked for the buttons, and they had it there. So I've gotten them over there. So either at the front desk of your resort or at guest relations, they'll be sure to have that over there for you. Next email is from Gary from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Right, AKA guy who listens only when he has nothing better to do.
Gary, we just saw him the other day.
Yeah, it's a question for Mike over here.
Scopa?
Writes, no, for you.
Oh.
Writes, hi guys, in the interest of equal time, seems like the unofficial guide, insert ding, gets a lot of press. I was wondering if there's any way to listen to Mouse World Radio from my iPod Touch. Thanks.
Yeah, that's like the question of the year that I'm getting. I'm being told, I was originally told, I don't know when this question was first written, but it was supposedly around Thanksgiving. Now I'm being told before the end of the year. And I know they're alpha testing BlackBerry apps for it, and they're going to alpha test an iTunes app. The only problem is with that, you have to be a VIP member. You can't listen to it unless you're a VIP member.
Yeah, but I mean, the Live 365 subscription is great. I would definitely recommend it. It's like a few dollars a month, and you get access to so many stations. I mean, even Disney World, never mind Disney World, I mean, anything else, really. So if you're the kind of person who likes to listen to audio at work, I mean, it's a treasure trove of what you get. It's definitely worth the money.
I had it in the car. I was playing in the car just in Orlando. I had a nice jazz station on it. Oh, it was fantastic.
Absolutely. So there you go. Good seeing you again, Gary, even though you got nothing better to do. Next email is from Jamie of Dunloring, Virginia. Writes, hey, gang, I started listening to your podcast after seeing all of you at Magic Meets this summer. Totally love your show. Question for the gurus. I'm contemplating taking my two boys to a Star Wars weekend next year, 11 and 8 at the time, on the assumption that it will include the June 19th to 21st weekend. Their last day of school is June 18th, which is the Thursday, so my plan would be for us to fly down that afternoon and evening and stay through Tuesday or Wednesday. First question. Any idea if that weekend will be Star Wars weekend? I know nothing is official until Disney announces details next January or February. You're absolutely right about that, Jamie. There's no official dates out there yet. I would guess that it's going to be June again, the same as they've done this year and the year before that. You have to go with that assumption because we got nothing else to do. Otherwise, you would just be wildly guessing. And you're absolutely right that the dates likely will be coming out usually late January, early February. That's usually when they announce the dates. But, of course, if I have any information, I'll post it on studiocentral.com, and you can keep track of it over there. Jamie also adds, I'm leaning towards a Valley Resort and using on-site transportation. Between Pop and the All-Stars, which has the best bus service? First dropped off, first picked up. Which should be avoided? Within each resort, which building is best? How realistic is it to request and get a specific building? Well, Pop is easy because there's only one bus that goes to all of Pop Century.
Right.
There's one pickup location, and there's one bus that brings you from a park or so. That's easy. At the All-Stars, my great tip that I always recommend is to take All-Star Sports because they're first to be picked up and first to be dropped off. So what that means is in the morning, they'll come to All-Star Sports first. Let's say they fill up the whole bus. The bus will then, instead of going to music and movies, will make a U-turn and go right to the park. In the afternoon and the evening, especially in the evening at the Magic Kingdom, they split up the park. They split up the buses. So there'll be an All-Star Sports, an All-Star Movies, and an All-Star Music bus. And the sports bus is inevitably the least crowded because most people tend to stay at movies and then music and then sports. And I think there's no scientific reason for that. I think just people, in their mind think that movies is the coolest one, and that's how it usually works out. So I would definitely go for that. And for All-Stars, if you're going to stay at All-Star Sports, definitely Touchdown, building 7 and 10, I believe. And Mike, you've stayed there before, and you would definitely back that up, right?
Yeah, 7, 10, and 11.
Yeah. And if you're requesting a building, it's pretty easy to get, usually at the All-Star, especially All-Star Sports. I mean, just put your request in. If you have a travel agent do it for you, it makes it a whole lot easier on yourself. If you don't want to do that, though, It's easy enough. You just have to call the resort 5 days before you check in. That's when your reservation enters into their system, and they will do their best to do it. I've had pretty good luck with getting my request put in. The only time I don't get it in is if I forget to do it and I do it the day of, like I check in and be like, by the way, can I get a room in this room, this building? That can be hectic.
Right.
But generally, if you do it in advance, you'll be a set. Jamie also adds, finally, what's the difference between standard and preferred rooms? I see that option at POP. Standard and preferred rooms, pretty simply, is Disney's way of charging a little extra money for a building and rooms that are close to the main building. At POP, there's a number of rooms throughout the buildings. You can check the old show notes for that. There's some episodes where Scope has mentioned that before. And All Stars have them as well. Basically, there's no difference in the rooms themselves. They're just simply the closest rooms to the building. The good news is if you say sports, All Star Sports Building 7 and 10 are not preferred, so you're not paying an extra price for them. And therefore, you get they're very close. Wouldn't you say, Mike?
Yeah, they're right within walking distance. I had no trouble getting to the main buildings from there.
Absolutely. I would definitely recommend that one. So I definitely would not pay the preferred. There's no reason you should pay the preferred rooms. I mean, even the next closest building, we're talking like an extra 20 feet. I mean, it really is nothing major. I would not spring for the preferred rooms. They're not necessary. It's just Disney's way of trying to make a little extra money to people who don't know the difference. Next email is from Amy Miller of, oh my God, Waxahachie? Somewhere in Texas. Right? Hi, Matt, Mike, Mr. Scopa, respect your elders, Len and Annette. Just wondering if there are any live webcams in the parks. Was there ever any, and what happened to them? I noticed that there is one on top of the Swan and Dolphin. Can you offer any links? Mike, do you remember there used to be all those webcams inside the parks?
Yeah, there used to be 3. One before Animal Kingdom. There used to be one at Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and the studios. Yep. Back in the day, they were really, really, really cool, too, to look at. And I don't know why they took them down. They took them down. They said they were having trouble with them, and they never put them back up.
Yeah, they went down in, I think, 2001, I want to say. I want to say it was right after September 11th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I kind of think it was earlier than that.
It was earlier than that? I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I remember the webcams, though, and they were cool. And they took them down, and they've never been brought back up.
No.
Never.
No.
And it doesn't seem like they're ever going to, I mean, there's been no mention of them. I mean, we're talking now, 2008 going on 2009, so we're talking almost a decade,
yeah.
Depending on when they took them down.
Yeah, and they were kind of really cool. I used to get a kick out of looking at them.
Yeah. There is one, though, as you mentioned, Amy, on top of the Swan and Dolphin, which has a nice shot pointing towards Epcot, so you can see the Spaceship Earth.
Right.
The problem is it's very far away. That's all you're going to be seeing is Spaceship Earth. It's a weather cam. I think it's a weather bug cam. I'll put a link in the show notes if someone doesn't beat me to it. And basically all you'll see is the weather, the cloud movement, and Epcot. I mean, it's kind of a stretch for getting your fix, quote unquote.
It's still fun to look at. Yeah, I have it bookmarked, and I check it out from time to time.
Yeah. One of the new trends, though, that people are doing now is guests will start putting webcams in their own rooms and putting those up during their stays, and that's kind of fun.
Yes, if you go over to Ustream or Stickam and just type in Disney Hotel, Disney Resorts every now and then, more so in the summertime, not so much lately, but even when I was down in Key West, I had a webcam running the whole week of my view to the back where the water was, so it's been kind of fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's something that you like to do, Mike, when you're over there, and that's certainly something that you can look for. And just go to those sites like Mike mentioned. I'll put the links in the show notes to those as well. And if you search over there, you'll find the information. Of course, the show notes can be found at www.today.com. And I'll add one more link. It's not really a webcam, but I think it's a cool idea. At www.live.com, the guy over there has a neat little thing. It's called a webcam. It's not really live. But what he's done is he's videotaped an entire day at the Magic Kingdom. And if you click on the link, you'll see what you see on the, quote, webcam is what you typically would see in the park if you were there at that time. Let me give you a good example of this. If you click at 3 o'clock p.m. on that link, it'll show you the parade coming down Main Street. If you do it in the morning, you'll see different things going on. So it's kind of a neat idea. It's not live, but it's good little fix, and you have to time it well to see those kind of special events. If you go at 9 or 10 o'clock, you'll see Wishes or you'll see Spectrum Magic. So
yeah,
it's kind of.
I've clicked it on once after hours, and there was nobody there, so it's kind of neat.
Yeah, absolutely. Next email is from Mikey the Errand Boy, and
Mikey.
we met Mikey at MouseFest just this past week,
yes,
and his lovely I don't know what she was, girlfriend, friend. Oh man,
companion.
This is an awkward moment for both of them if they're listening right now. Anyway, let's move on. Mikey writes, "I love the episode with Dewey, the gentleman that portrayed Ace Ventura, not only at the studios but also at the Hard Rock Cafe. That's where I work. I was a host at the time, and he would be there to entertain people waiting in the queue to get into the restaurant. This is going back almost 4 to 5 years already, and I always point him out to people when I go to the park and see him performing during Streetmosphere. Awesome. Keep up the awesome work. The guy who performs as Francis Flute, whose real name is Dewey Chafee. He's a great guy. He's actually got a new character called Buzz Ardman that he's working on in the studios. He's a Hollywood public works guy. You can't miss him. He's got a gut on him, and he talks with a British accent with false teeth in. It's really a lot of fun. It's very different than the Francis Flute character, but he's a lot of fun, and I definitely recommend checking him out the next time you're at the studios. Next email is from Chuck from Hollywood, California. Come for your daughter, Chuck. Right. Dear Matt, Mike, I can't resist the Beetlejuice references. Dear Matt, Mike, Len, Annette, and anyone else I hope to meet at Mousefest. Can Matt please explain to me why Disney's Hollywood Studios is held in such high regard? Maybe it's because I live in LA and work in the film and television industry, but the park has very little that interests me. I think in its current state, it even ranks behind our own California Adventure, and is desperately in need of similar billion-dollar refurb to get it out of the dead space. I would argue that there's currently more to do at Animal Kingdom, a park you love to make fun of. Wow, Chuck.
Uh-oh.
Ooh. Well, first of all, Mike.
Yes.
Banned.
Delete.
Ban it. No, I'm just kidding. I'll put, the appeal of the studios is that it's so diverse. It's not, there isn't just one kind of attraction. Like the Magic Kingdom, for instance, is very much comprised of dark rides. Epcot is very much comprised of that. Well, they try to make futuristic rides, although, of course, now they've kind of delineated from that. But what I like about the studios is there's so much. They have the dark rides. They have the live shows. They have the stunt shows. They have the attractions for the kids. They have Streetmosphere. I really like that quite a bit. I also really, really, really like the theme of the studios, especially on Hollywood and Sunset Boulevards. I think they're beautifully decorated, and I think that the whole park is so different from the other parks. It really stands out on its own. I really do. I really think it's really good. And I disagree with your comparison to California Adventure. I mean, that was just a bad idea that they didn't give any money to. And luckily with the studios is that it enjoyed being built during the Disney decade, quote unquote, during the 80s. And that's when they had a lot of money. And they really did. I mean, you can really tell the attention to detail there. And I could just walk around the studios all day long, and it's something that I really, really, really enjoy. I'll put a link, Chuck, in the show notes to a couple articles I've written about why I love the studios, and hopefully that'll shed some light on it. And if you still think it stinks, well, you're banned. So it doesn't matter because we're not getting any more emails from you. I joke. I kid. Next email is from Mark in New Jersey, who writes, in episode 464, there was something different but somewhat familiar about the music used in that episode at the beginning and end of the show. I think the intro music was the song Trees by Rush, but performed by some string ensemble. The outro music, I think, was Red Barchetta, also by Rush, again, performed by strings. Am I right? If so, do I win a Dole Whip, or am I delusional?
You're right, but you don't win anything because we have nothing to give you.
Was he right?
He's right. That's one of the episodes you missed, and the running gag that we have is that when Matt's not around, things are quiet and relaxed, and we're very gentlemanly with each other.
So you played Rush music?
Yeah, but it was like a string quartet, so it was kind of mellow and nice and relaxing.
I see.
Just like the show was that night.
Speaking of the band list, let me go edit names in that one real quickly. Also, today we'll be answering an email from Christopher Wing of Mountain View, California. All right, say everyone. I'm going to Walt Disney World soon, and this will be my first time staying at the All-Star Resorts. I usually stay at Port Orleans Riverside. I'll be driving a rental car, and when I look at the All-Stars from Google Earth, it looks like buildings 2 or 3, basketball, of the All-Star sports have the shortest daily drive. Does that make sense? Am I right? I think basketball's pretty close. I think the closest buildings that aren't preferred have to be the football building, touchdown buildings, which are buildings 7 and 10. Basketball and baseball are the next closest, but I really think, let me put it this way. Basketball is close to a parking lot, which is good if you're driving a car. Football, building 10, I believe, is also close to the parking lot, but it's also close to the main building. So not only does it provide convenience to the parking lot, it also provides convenience to the main building, so you can get your food and whatever from the food court over there, as well as if you decide to take a bus once in a while. Like I like to, even when I'm staying on property, even though I have my own car, I like to take the bus to the Magic Kingdom to avoid the whole TTC shenanigans over there.
I was going to say the same thing. Bus to the Magic Kingdom.
Absolutely. Christopher adds, also, I know the All-Star Sports started renovating its rooms last year. Have they all been renovated or just certain buildings or rooms? All the buildings and all the rooms at All-Star Sports have been renovated, and they're beautiful. I love them.
Yeah, they really did a nice job.
Yeah, I think I know there are a lot of people out there who've written off the All-Stars because they stayed there many years ago, but I really recommend you take a good look at All-Star Sports. I think Music also got the rehab as well. And you took a look at these new rooms, and they're really quite nicely done. It's definitely an improvement on what they did before, so I definitely tip my hat to Disney on that one.
Yeah, those rooms are starting to look worn because the turnover is so big because they're value resorts. So the turnover is, it's always booked. So, the carpet would wear down really quick. The walls will wear down really quick. And they also put new linens, too. Remember, they put new towels, and they have new bed linens, which I think, what was it, last October was like I was like the first one in when they reopened that building. That place was so comfortable. That room was really, really nice. It was so nice because everything was brand new.
Yeah, I really like it. I mean, they have definitely a lot of – I think they really did a great job with it. And sports is just – it floats under the radar in terms of the All-Stars. I really think that would be a good option for you.
Absolutely.
Next email is from Jeff Carr of Mandeville, Louisiana, where it's a great show. I've listened to it regularly since episode 1. Wow. My favorite episode is 153, where you discussed urban theming. I won't mention this time Scopa Towers, Dulups, or Downing maple syrup from Canada. Do those comments prove my worth? Jeff adds, okay, I missed the old Space Shipper. I downloaded from somewhere on the internet the Jeremy Irons narration that lasts about 22 minutes. What I plan to do next time I ride Space Shipper is to flip on my iPod, turn on the Jeremy Irons version, and enjoy the ride. Is anybody with me? Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, although I like Judi Dench, I always thought that the new narration, like I kind of feel like she talks down to us, and it just doesn't do it for me. I mean, I still love the attraction, but I don't know. Yeah,
I mean, I like the Judi Dench version. It's fine. I don't have a problem with it. Some people really have a problem with it. I don't really see a big deal with it. That being said, if I could pick versions of, if I could ride the Jeremy Irons version or the Judi Dench version or the Walter Cronkite version, I would ride the Jeremy Irons version. I think he does just a wonderful job with it. I think it's it's my favorite of those three narrations, and I really do miss that one because I thought it was such a classic attraction, and I had really grown up on the Jeremy Irons version, so that one really struck a chord with me. But I don't know. The Judi Dench version doesn't bother me so much. First of all, I think obviously she gets the script, she just reads it.
Right.
So I don't think she, is like, what, this is kind of complicated.
Right.
Why don't we water this down? That's the worst British accent I've ever made.
Yes, it is.
And, why don't we, I mean, obviously they did that. And,
I mean, it's okay for what it is. I'm not going to not ride it. I still love I rode it, how many times this past trip.
Right.
I still love it. It's just, it's not as... I don't know. The Jeremy Irons one seemed to it was like a presentation more than a lecture. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. But absolutely, Jeff. I would be interested to see if it lines up pretty well, because obviously there's some new scenes that are in the new one, and I suspect that a lot of the narration from the old one, from the Jeremy Irons, the scenes would be longer than what they have currently. So you might have a problem with lining it up. But of course, if it doesn't line up, just close your eyes and you won't know the difference. Last email of the day. I won't let you pick it, Mike, because. Well, just last email today. I picked this one. I thought you would find this one interesting, Mike, anyway. It's from Lonnie from Brooklyn, New York, who writes,
Lonnie.
Has the slogan for your podcast ever been give us... Oh, I'm sorry. Has the slogan for 1010 Wins News ever been you give us 10 minutes and we'll give you the world? Has it always been 22 minutes?
1010 Wins? Yeah.
1010 Wins.
That's always been 22 minutes.
Has it? I thought at one point... By the way, for those who have no idea what Lonnie's talking about, our slogan of the podcast, give us 10 minutes and we'll give you the world, or give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world, is, well, they ripped us off. That's all I'll say about it. 1010 Wins, which is a news station in New York. I think someone mentioned that they have like similar stations in like LA or something. But anyway, I thought at one point they used to be shorter. They used to be like, give us 10 minutes and we'll give you the world. And then they figure they need more time than 10 minutes.
I always remember 22 minutes because they run in 20-minute clocks. So like the top of the hour runs till 20 minutes after, and then from 20 to 40 minutes after, and then from 40 back to the top of the hour again.
That makes sense. I think we should start having that 1010 Wins sound effect behind us.
With the teletype machine in the background.
Exactly. I'm Matt Hochberg, and here's the news for today.
Ding.
All right, well, that'll wrap it up for us today. If you want to find our older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, visit the WDW Today website at www.wdwtoday.com. For Len Testa, Mike Scopa, and Mike Newell, I'm Matt Hochberg. We'll see you on the next show.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio. This episode of Walt Disney World Today is sponsored by MEI and MouseFan Travel, who specialize in cruises and vacation packages to Disney and other destinations around the world. MEI and MouseFan Travel is an authorized Disney vacation planner. They provide their signature services with no additional agency fees. To get your free no-obligation quote, visit www.mousefantravel.com.